because this whole convention, the whole concept of giving back.
You guys like the show Supernatural, right? You like the show Supernatural.
Well, Misha,
There's a character on the show.
yeah, this guy has created so much good karma around the show.
That's right.
He started charitable enterprises that do great work the world over. He's done it since he's had any modicum of fame at the hands of this show. He's a great representative for all of us, and he's also batshit crazy. Put your hands together for Misha Collins!
Smooth. That's what we do here in Burbank. Smooth. Hey, I have to tell you.
Oh yeah, please do.
I was watching. I was in Vancouver, but watching the show this week's episode.
Oh, we were on this week?
Thursday. Yeah, we were on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we were live on the show. We were on it. We were on it. You and I were both on it.
We were on it.
Yeah. But I was watching the LA, the Los Angeles feed, and during one of the commercials, a commercial came on for the Burbank convention.
Oh really?
And you go, "Hi, I'm Castiel." You did the voiceover, not as Misha, and you're like, "Come see stars Richard Spade Jr., Rob Benedict, and Misha Collins." But you did the whole thing.
Spot on.
Thank you so much. I've been working on it.
You thought about like maybe doing Saturday Night Live or something like that?
Yeah, no, I get told that a lot that I should do my invitations.
Do some invitations. You have that great character that you do, the guy from Boston.
Oh, you want to hear my accent?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, what you doing? I'm about to pop the car in my yard, hey.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. That's my guy from Boston.
Yeah, do the Italian one. Do the Italian one.
Do the Italian.
Like from Italy?
Watch this. Yeah, from Italy. Watch this. It's like you're transported. Go.
Hey, I'm from Milano, and I talk like this.
Oh, it's
pretty good.
It's
Pretty good.
really
It's pretty
amazing.
good.
Family from Milan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You'd think I have no Italian in me at all.
Can I throw you a curveball?
Yeah.
Deep South, not just Deep South. Like Jekyll Island, Georgia. Like really. Oh
Like, really? You want Jekyll Island, Georgia?
Yeah. Watch this.
Hey, everybody. My name's Stan, and I'm from Jekyll Island, Georgia. I've lived here my whole life.
Unbelievable. You can almost taste the boiled peanuts.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
That was really amazing. Thank
Anyway, yeah, but my Castiel, I mean, I filmed that years ago, but I'm happy to do
It's
it.
really good. Speaking of Castiel, so Richard Spade was over here skulking in the corner. You make me very uncomfortable when you say complimentary things like you did just now.
That's why I tried to make you feel welcome.
You're trying to get your way out of a hole. We spent the last week together and he has said nothing nice to me all week. He's been directing Supernatural. And he has this amazing knack, like we developed a very, I would say, unusual pattern of behavior on the show, which is that when an actor is playing a character, the director historically addresses the actor by their given name. So for example,
that's one way to do it.
A director would say to me, "Hey Misha, you know, when you come into the scene, do this." But Spade just says, "Hey Castiel," because he can't remember my name.
See, I get a lot of grief from you and everybody for that. Whereas I think it's a compliment because I'm so transported by your performance. Like in the moment. And no, it's not about me being dumb as paint. It's about me being engrossed in this story and who you are.
You've lost me. I've lost the thread.
All right, David, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins.
Hi guys, how are you? It's nice to be back. And how am I? Thank you for asking. I thought no one was going to ask. I'm well, thank you. I'm tired, but that's just because I have children. I came in well before sunrise this morning and woke me up in the sweetest, most gentle way, he slapped my face. And he said, "Dad, you sold my Lego set." I don't know where he gets the idea that somehow, like, I had, like, crept into the house and taken his toys and then, like, put them up on Craigslist and sold his shit. But that was his, like, he had developed the idea that because he couldn't find his toy, it was because Dad had hawked it. And by the way, what a good way to, like, greet the day, like being hit in the face. I was like, oh, and then I was, like, super cheerful toward him at that point. Cheerful in a way that might scar him forever, but... We flew down here from the Pacific Northwest yesterday, and when we were at the airport, we were at the cafe buying some snacks, and the girl behind at the register was just like, "Oh, I'm trying not to freak out." And Mason was standing next to me, and Wes was standing next to me. I'm trying not to freak out. But I know who you guys are. And Mason just looked up at her and she said, "Who are we?" It was like she was in the throes of some existential crisis. And this woman was just reaching out to her with the answer, like, "Tell me what my life purpose is, please." It was really a sweet moment, and she didn't get a satisfying answer, unfortunately. She's full of those little things that it can be lovely and it can be traumatizing too. We were sitting, I was reading the bedtime stories. You didn't ask about my kids. I'm one of those people that's like, "Let me tell you about my kids," and you're like, "Oh, I'm trying to check Twitter." We're lying in bed, and I said, "I want you guys to never grow up, and I want you to stay my little kids forever and ever." And Mason said, "No, we are going to grow up." And I said, "No, I want you to stay my little kids forever and ever and ever." She said, "No, we are going to grow up." And I said, "No, I want you to stay my little kids forever and ever and ever." And she said, "No, we are going to grow up, and we're going to get old, and we're going to die."
Damn it.
All right, you won this round. Bit of a buzzkill. Go to sleep. Go cry myself to sleep. Yeah, it's very fucking depressing having kids.
And dying.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Okay.
Do you guys want to ask questions? I see you lining up on the sides there. No? Okay. How about you? She just walked away from the microphone. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Okay. Great.
Thanks. So I have a tendency to injure myself a lot in sort of ridiculous ways.
Okay.
Yep. And I wonder...
Somebody just injured themselves with a sneeze and then a heart attack. Yes.
Yeah, so I wondered what sort of the most ridiculous way that you've managed to injure yourself.
Well, I don't want to share that, but
All adults.
you're not all adults, actually. I see some children in the room. So.
Are they old enough to remember? Oh, Lord.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I've injured myself in a lot of ways. There's a thing in construction. So I was building this timber frame barn, and there's something in construction called the dumb end of the board, and that's when you have a board that's laying when you're framing something that's laying off the edge of something, and you don't want to step on that because it'll just tip over like a seesaw. And I have a lot of these kind of stories. I was up 2 stories up on this timber frame, and I asked one of the other guys that was working if he wanted to race across to the other side of the structure on these little boards that are maybe 8 inches wide, spanning, between the timbers. And he said, "No, dude, that's dumb." And I said, "No, it's not." And then we raced, and then I stepped on the dumb end of the board and fell 2 stories, and it hurt. And then another time, we were doing a mural project on the side of the police building in my hometown, and it was 3 stories, and there was scaffolding all the way up the 3 stories. Scaffolding, I might add, that I had built, and I raised my brother up the outside of the scaffolding, and it wasn't built well. The scaffolding, it came off my hand, and I fell down.
Again.
3 stories.
Wow.
It did hurt, yep. That one involved an ambulance, but it was fine, it was fine.
It was.
I ran a marathon last year with my castmates. And we were just talking about this in the green room, and now I need 2 hip replacements, so that was also done. Just 2, only 2.
Jesus.
Thanks for bringing up such a cheerful subject. I really Hi.
Wow.
Hi, Fred. So, my name's Elena, and firstly, I just want to tell you that you are seriously one of my biggest inspirations because your acting is incredible. It's in you are so amazing. So I just wanted to tell you that firstly.
Thank you. And can you please give her her money now? That's very kind of you to say. And very not discriminating, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
So I have always been my biggest dream in life to act in movies and in TV shows and stuff like that, and do sci-fi stuff and action stuff like that. And so I was just wondering if you had any advice for aspiring actresses like myself.
Do something else? Yeah, I mean, a lot of it looks really cool on screen, but then when you do it on set, it's a very different, like sci-fi, for example, you brought up. My character on Supernatural has the capacity to teleport, and that looks really cool. But then when you're shooting it, actually getting into the daily grind of teleporting on set, it's really painful.
I bet.
And it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do that. So, do you have other career options though?
I mean, my backup plan is to be a high school drama teacher.
Great idea. Do that. Totally endorse that plan. Yeah. All right, fine. You're looking at me with those I want a serious answer eyes. I would say, this is going to sound pat, but I would say try to enjoy the process and not aim for some future product. Don't make it about trying to get a job, just make it about enjoying what you do along the way to getting a job. It's a recipe for greater happiness, I think. And then also you're not disappointed when you don't get the job,
Right.
which happens sometimes, every once in a while in this business. Yeah, and yeah. You have to learn to love rejection too. Because there is some of that, from time to time.
Thank you, Misha.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
that's
appreciate
also
it.
not uplifting. I don't know what's happening here. I'm talking about death and injury and rejection. Hi.
Hi, I didn't think I'd win and I'm really nervous.
Sorry?
I didn't think I'd win and now I'm really nervous.
You're nervous?
Yeah.
That's okay. Everyone's nervous here. I am too. What do you have on your mind?
I just wanted to ask if you will adopt me. Please, I swear I'm a good child.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
You're 13 and you want to be adopted.
Yeah.
What's your current parent situation?
It's good, but I'm sure my mom will give me up if
Did your parents know that you're shopping for other parents?
My mom knows, yes.
She does? And she's cool with that?
Yeah, it's
Okay. Okay, sure, I'm sure you can work something out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking. That's Is your mom here?
Yeah.
Speaking as a parent myself, it feels like this might be my kind of like worst nightmare. Finding out that my child is looking for other parents. Hi. So things have not been going great at home? Oh, well that's sweet of you. Did you guys bring any paperwork or anything?
I have a paper route.
What, you don't, we can do just a verbal contract, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
What? Okay. Okay, this is not really how I was expecting things to be.
I'm sorry I'm weird.
No, that's not weird at all. I mean, really, it's the elementary school years are the tricky ones anyway, so it seems like everyone says that you want to get a child in this. Huh?
That's middle school.
Guys, don't yell at me. I'm trying to adopt a new child. It's a big moment for me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Misha.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
I'm excellent, thanks. We could go back and forth with this forever.
Yeah. So this question's not mine, it's behalf of my brother who couldn't be here.
Okay.
So this is for him. And oh my gosh. And he's your favorite, and he also loves your impressions, so.
Oh, great.
Big fan of your impressions, so.
Oh, okay. What impressions?
I don't know. He didn't clarify.
You don't know who I am, do you?
Please, we've met many times before. But moving on. His question is.
Moving on.
Anyways, I'm just trying to get this out. His question.
You're doing not a great job, but go.
I've tried my best. I'm nervous. All right. All right. His question is, if the French Mistake was made into a 2-hour special, what else would you have liked to include for both the episode and your character?
Not dying.
So the French Mistake, for those of you who don't know the show, is an episode where we really broke the fourth wall. So I was playing the actor Misha Collins, who plays the angel Castiel on the show Supernatural, which we're all thrust into in a parallel dimension. It was very confusing. But we got to sort of poke fun at ourselves, and the first draft came in, and I called the writer Ben Edlund, and I said, hey, could you make the Misha character into the quintessential douchey LA actor? And the changes came back very subtle, and so I thought I would embellish a little bit. So my character did a lot of tweeting, which is like, who does that, right? And then I pushed the woman who was fixing my hair on set, I pushed her out of the way, and I ignored the PAs on set, and I thought I was pretty douchey. And my manager at the time watched the episode and called me afterwards and said, Misha, it was so great to get to just see you playing yourself. I was like, oh my God, that's how I come across? I mean, I knew I was douchey, I just didn't know I was that douchey. So I think it would have been nice to do, just more of that, just more of myself. Just get to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell your brother I said hi.
I will. He'll love that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello, Misha.
Hi.
First off, I want to thank you for playing one of my top 10 favorite characters.
Oh my God.
You're up there with Batman and Mr. Darcy, so you're in good company.
That's pretty good.
So I just want to
Where just in the lineup though? Where?
I can't decide.
Okay, all right, fine.
So I just want to preface my question by that when I refer to seasons and episodes, you can just give a general vicinity.
Holy shit, this sounds like it's gonna be a long question.
Hopefully not, but it's a deep thinking question.
Uh-oh.
So my question is, when you first came on the show, Sam and Dean the Castiel was acquaintances, and then they became friends, and then you became family. So my question is, what season or episode do you think the Winchesters became family for Castiel? And from a character standpoint, why do you think you became family? I can break that down for you.
No. What did she? Oh shoot! I had one assignment up here and I forgot it immediately. I was supposed to ask you guys to guess something. You could guess because you seem to be encyclopedic in your knowledge of the show. By the way, I have no idea what you just asked me.
When do you think the Winchesters became family for Cass, and why do you think he considers them family?
Oh, that is a good question.
I'm sorry I made it convoluted.
You did at first make it quite convoluted, but then you streamlined it, so I appreciate that. Well, I think that Cass, Cass was an angel. I'm gonna school you. Cass was an angel, and he came down and he met the humans, and he felt like his family was the angel community, his garrison, and then he got to know Sam and Dean, and he went from feeling like he was their protector to feeling like heaven had alienated him, and he had nowhere to go, and the only place he felt he could turn was to Sam and Dean, and so he, I think, for some time, felt like he wanted to be a part of that family, but they didn't want him, or he didn't think that they wanted him, so he always had this sort of outcast quality. And I think finally last year he started to feel like he belonged, and then Dean turned into a real jerk. And was like, I'm over you. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a jerk.
He was a jerk, yeah. Ain't that guy. So, yeah, so I think it was last year, and then I think it was short-lived, and now he's an outcast again, so it's a real downer. We have a special guest coming tomorrow who's not on the roster. Who do you think it is? You get to guess. Wrong.
I don't think it's J2, so.
Mark.
Yeah, you're all wrong. Okay. You're all wrong. Yes, you have a question? Goodbye.
I wasn't expecting this, but was there anything you filmed recently, maybe that you were excited about or liked, that you are excited for us to see?
Nope. Actually, I can give two instances of things that I was excited about recently. One, I shot a scene with Jared and Jensen, and as you know, Jared has, I think he has like size 14 shoes, which is just like a deformity as far as I'm concerned. But he also has these very long legs as if he's on stilts. And so we were in a scene, and when it was my coverage, he was doing the usual thing of putting his foot in my balls. And I was really pleased with the scene because I managed to get through the whole thing without cracking a smile. And that was a crowning achievement for me. Yeah. And then Jensen and I had a scene where it felt like, oh, we really we were both kind of like emotionally frayed by it. It was related to the, him being a jerk business that we were talking about earlier. And later, like a few days later, we were like, that scene was like, I forgot. So every once in a while on this show, we do a little bit of acting. That was nice. It's rare, but we try to pepper it in a little bit here and there. Who do you think is going to be the special guest tomorrow?
Adam. Jake. Abel.
Jake Abel, you are correct. You win the prize. What's the prize? Oh yeah, if you want to come up on stage and take some pictures. How did you guess that so quickly? Have you been, did you put a bug in my bathroom or something?
Your dress is cute.
Thanks, Mom. Perfect. She said, I don't like having my picture taken, so it's perfect. I'm also going to talk about this because I have the opportunity to. All right. That's squash. Those are apples.
Story time.
Will you guys?
Read us a story.
Which one's your favorite recipe?
I don't have a favorite. They're all
kind of gross. So in the process of writing a cookbook with the kids have become really, really enthusiastic about cooking and also now fancy themselves real chefs. And so they'll just go into the kitchen and be like, you know what, I think I'll do a layer cake right now. And they have no idea what goes into a layer cake, but they cook with such confidence that you don't want to get in their way. But then because you're an encouraging parent, you have to eat it. And it can be really tough. Like, actually tough. And tough emotionally. But if you want to order a copy, you can just do that online, and it would help us because if you pre-order, then maybe we get on the bestseller list, and then if we get on the bestseller list, then other people buy the book, and then all of the profits are going to charity, and hopefully, there's actually some good messages in the book too, secret messages for you. So please buy it. Yes, what's your question?
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
It's actually a very excellent segue. I was going to ask you, since the cookbook is coming out a couple of days before my birthday, so
happy birthday.
Thank you. And I know that you've already had some of your poetry published. Are you going to do an actual poetry book?
I would like to do, yes. I could lie and say I'm not sure, but I kind of have a book more or less put together, so yes.
Excellent, I can't wait to see it.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, you're leaving? Yeah. Well, why are you leaving if you love me so much? Hi.
Hi, Misha. This next week is Asexual Awareness Week, and for a while I've seen Cass is on the ace spectrum, and it's really helped me a lot, and I was just wondering what your thoughts are on that interpretation of Cass's character.
I think there are a lot of, it's interesting, my character I think has had a lot of different people projecting different sexualities onto him. And I like the fact that ambiguity exists for the character. So I'm not going to say what you want me to say. Sorry. But because I don't really want to sort of pick a side on that. But one of the things that I love about the character is that he seems completely utterly non-judgmental of sexuality that people would choose. And I think that applies to himself as well. He doesn't seem to be attached to a particular identity in terms of sexuality. And I I love that about him. Not that having a sexual identity is not a good thing, but that sort of, I think, is indicative of his overarching non-judgmentalness in that department. To me, he feels like very welcoming and accepting, and I aspire to be that way myself. Would you like to share anything about your perspective?
Oh, but it's helped me a lot to see it because I kind of I see him as like on the same point on the spectrum as me, so it's really helped me a lot to like find comfort in it.
Well, fun. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
Just the other day, 3 or 4 days ago, there was an announcement made that you were going to be doing a book signing in New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And I live in New Jersey,
Perfect.
so I will be there. But I was wondering what I
Great.
could do to bribe you to bring Vicky so she could also sign my book.
Make me an offer.
Put me on the spot. $5 whole dollars.
Deal. I'll bring her. Do you want this cookbook? But I want that $5. Any more questions? Oh, hi. You were the dinosaur before. How's it going?
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Tristan.
Hi.
I'm an actor too.
Okay.
I also like feeding the homeless.
For some reason, I heard beating. And I was like, well, that's an interesting family sport that you have. I'm an actor, and I love beating homeless.
Okay.
But now I know what you said, and it wasn't that. It just took me a second to catch up.
My question is, do you have any advice for me to grow up to be just like you?
Don't. But it starts with beating the homeless, I would say, for sure. What other things do you want to do when you grow up?
One part is I'd like to be just like you, except way better looking.
Yeah. Well played, my friend. Booyah. I had a feeling the other shoe was going to drop. I could smell it over there. Could someone please escort that child from the room? Jen's coming to get him. Oh, come on, Jen. Where's your comic timing? Hi.
What?
You're doing great.
My name is Diana. I'm from Mexico.
You're from Mexico?
Yeah.
Hola.
And are you planning on doing like international cons?
Yes.
Yeah, because like traveling over here is like.
It's kind of a hassle to get here, so why don't I come to Mexico? Sounds great. Will you set that up? So you're visiting, how long are you here for?
Just a weekend.
Just a weekend?
Yeah.
Where do you live? Mexico City?
No, in Juarez.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome. I hope you found the whole experience of coming to visit our country welcoming. We try to be as welcoming as we can to people from your country. It's important from the top on down in our country to... Does everybody, do all of your friends and family in Mexico love our president as much as we do? Yeah. Great. On behalf of the United States of America, I would like to say I'm sorry. And hopefully things will get better. Hi guys.
Hey, Misha.
How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Pretty good, I would say. Okay.
Yeah?
Pretty okay.
Pretty okay. Yeah. That's a ringing endorsement.
All right, has everybody left? All of the question askers are gone? Are we done?
Well, I think there were a lot of people who wanted to ask questions, but, you know.
We've just given up here, haven't we?
That's not true, we ran out of time.
Yeah, because we're going to be back tomorrow, and they can ask you more stuff then. This is Misha Khan, everybody. It's Misha Khan.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. The guy who plays Castiel.